What's up, guys? I'm Kolby Krystofik, owner of Oxnard Movement and CrossFit Ventura, and I've helped hundreds of people improve their lives through fitness, personal development, and education. And I want to be real with you right now. If you've been working out, eating clean, and doing all the things that you think should be enough, and you're still not seeing results, this video is for you. Here's the hard truth. Most people aren't as fit as they think they are. And it's not because you're lazy, it's because no one's told you what you actually need to do. So I'm gonna go through 3 uncomfortable truths that might sting a little, but if you listen to them and act on them, it can completely change the way that you look, feel, and perform. The first one is you are confusing activity with intensity. Walking your dog, standing at your desk, doing a few workouts here and there, that's movement, sure, but movement isn't the same as intentional, progressive training. If your heart rate never spikes, if your muscles aren't challenged, and you're not leaving your comfort zone, you're not training, you're coasting. You're not underperforming because you're lazy, you're underperforming because you're undirected. Here are some things that you can do to improve that. The first thing is to follow a plan, a progressive plan. You don't want just random workouts. You need to be a part of a space or a program that has 8-week to 12-week blocks. That's gonna be the best way to make sure that you're getting results. You need to also track your performance, not just your attendance. Someone who early on comes to the gym, I would say the opposite. But if you've gotten to the point where you don't feel like you're seeing results, you need to not only track your attendance, but you also need to track your performance. That means recording what your workouts are and how you performed in them, the objective data. And the last thing is you need to stop measuring how much you sweat in your workouts. You need to start measuring how you perform in your workouts. Oftentimes people confuse, oh my gosh, I sweat so much, it must have been such a good workout, with how much work you actually did. You need to start tracking what you're doing, not just how much you're sweating. Second thing, you think you eat pretty good. You don't. I can't tell you how many times I've heard this. My nutrition's actually pretty good, but when we zoom in, it's mostly carbs, not enough protein, inconsistent portions, and way too much under eating during the week and overeating on the weekends. Your body doesn't respond to vibes, it responds to inputs. You need to start tracking. Even if it's for 3 days, write down every single calorie, every single macro that you eat. You need to start figuring out where you're at in order to go where you want to go. You'll also need to start hitting your protein goals. This is mostly the low-hanging fruit for most people. You need to be getting between 0.8 and 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you have. And finally, the last thing that you need to think about is the 80-20 rule when it comes to your food. You can't sustain a track and measure all of your food for the rest of your life, so you need to think about the 80-20. Great foods measured input 80% of the time, 20% of the time you're eating well or eating pretty good, but maybe you're not tracking, maybe you're not keeping a full account or log on it. You can sustain that 80-20, you can do that change long term. Third thing, you haven't committed long enough or hard enough to see the results that you want. To be honest, most people quit right before it starts working. They give a program 3 weeks, a new habit 10 days, or they go all in for 4 days and burn out by Friday. You don't need perfect effort. You need consistent, long effort day after day in order for it to matter. You're not stuck. You just haven't been in the game long enough to win. Here's some things that I would be thinking about if I wanted to stay in the game to win. You need to choose a consistency amount that's gonna work for you. Maybe that means 3 times a week, 4 times a week, rather than 6 times a week, 7 times a week. You need to set 90-day parameters, not 9-day parameters. Humans work really effective in 90-day periods. That's a quarter of time, and you can kind of think of that as a season. Humans, for most of our lives, operated in seasons. So if you can think about each 90-day season that you have, you can get some real results done. And the last thing is you need accountability. You gotta get a coach, you gotta find a group, you gotta figure out a system. If you don't have accountability, the likelihood that you're gonna get your results or stay in the game long enough drops dramatically. Look, I know this isn't the feel-good fluff that most people post, but I care more about your results than your comfort. You're not broken, you're just missing someone to provide you with structure, strategy, and help you stay the course. And that's what we do here. So if you're wondering why things are just not working, it's time to stop just winging it. So reach out if you're ready to stop guessing and start progressing. If this video resonates with you, let me know which of these 3 ways you feel like you can make the most improvements on down in the comments below. If you've ever ghosted your gym, had to start over on a Monday, or thought lifting a baby counts as leg day, our videos are for you. We break down all sorts of health and fitness content and give you real advice I wish more people heard. No fluff, no BS, just actionable items. Even if your life's a mess and your squat form is questionable, at the end of our videos, you'll find some sort of actionable content and know what to do next. So buckle up, this might be uncomfortably relatable.